to the first topic, which is community marketing. So in this topic, we're gonna talk about why we need to have community, how to build, grow, and grow in community. Also, about engagement funnel and content and data. Um, Case study, I'm gonna update with you later when we have more case study from other entity. So first, let's start. What is the community marketing? So community is about connecting, engaging, and establishing the long-term relationship with the customer. So it's a space where people can come together and talk about a common topic to learn and share. This is where brand and the customer can have a conversation about the experience with the product. And the community that I'm gonna talk with you about today is gonna be the internal community. So everything about the external community on social media, then it's not gonna be conclude in this topic, including this topic. So you can imagine that community is when a brand humanize and have an O2O conversation with the customer. So first, before we start, let's understand about where is it belong to. So this is the digital ecosystem, and as you already know that in the whole system we have paid platform, owned platform, and earned platform. In the earned platform is the space that we can have users generate content, and that's where community belong to. So in the community, we are expect to gain the content and also gain the sharing from the customer, so that from here we can advocate the experience and attract them again. Okay, so how community gonna be relevant to the current context? So in the current context, as you can see that customers have the tendency to be everything digital, and then the buying process also happen on digital platform, which means that 70% of the marketing and sales funnel gonna be digital after this kind of thing. So highly chance that this gonna happen. And also a lot of entity right now, you are not allowed to do physical activation. Then how we can implement this. So the reason why we have community marketing, we have 4 reasons. First is the lead nurturing. So by deliver the brand content in here about leadership, we can nurture the current lead and also the old customer with aies.ec. In here, we can get the user generate content, which is the testimonial, and this is the highly trusted source of content for new lead. Also, for any entity that you start working on a market penetration and you want to increase the short of lead from the top of the funnel, then actually the testimonial that we have before can help us to expand and penetrate to market through digital channel. And for the activation and consultancy, in the upcoming time, if you cannot do physical activation or you cannot do physical consultancy, then this is gonna be the space that allow us to do virtual activation or also consultancy. And most importantly is the space that allow your LC to train their digital skill by actually experience in content marketing, production, deliver virtual event, and analyze data so that they can understand the big picture of digital marketing. First, let's go with build, grow, and your role in the community. First, the step that we need to see is we need to build through the platform to build your internal community, and then grow by invite target audience to your community, and then what is the role that MC and MC can play in driving community. In the build that in the internal community, there are 2 types. The first one is the shared interest community, where it's bringing people together so that if we are interested in a common topic, audience come here to explore and connect with each other on a larger range of topic. And also it's allow the collaboration between members, because the collaboration between members in this community is the key of success, and it also helps us to building brand loyalty. The second one is the informational community. So it's usually used to create a space for the community to search for the information for the content that relate to your product and service. This type of community support can be very helpful for you in customer operation support, which you send them the information about your product. So in the shared interest community, you can use the platform like Facebook, Line account, or forum on website, or or the platform depend on your entity context, but then I highly recommend Facebook group because it have the best feature so far to interact and manage the data. Second, for the informational community, you can use the WhatsApp group, Telegram group, or Slack, for example. So before you build, you need to choose the platform, but then when you choose, ensure that your community platform have a good technical feature that allow you to track and analyze audience engagement. First is about the interface and flexibility. You need to ask yourself that whether your platform interface are easy to use and user-friendly. That it's easy for your audience to share the interest in this community or to generate the content and post in the community. Second is the integration and also mobile friendly. So integration here is whether your platform integrate with the old and the base platform. For example, like if for example in the Facebook Business Manager, we can manage Facebook page and also we can manage Instagram account, and at the same time we can integrate with our community, and from here we can track the data. And also, does it easy for your audience to access on mobile device or not? Next one is the audience analytics. So whether the platform have the data analytics or link with the Google Analytics that can help you to understand about customer engagement and behavior or not. And the last one is customer support. If your customer have a concern and a question about brand, how can we collect this question and support them? Whether this platform allow your customer to review and rate your service or not. So after you choose the platform, you need to start to do the relaunch. Keep your community relaunch driver, and then you need to be super well prepared before launching, everything before launching. So after you launch the community, how you can grow the community site. Here are some suggestion tactics for you. The first is you need to directly target at the target audience. So for example, you can ask your member to invite the sign up lead or event lead or approve the EP returnee to join. But please be remember that if your group Facebook is over than 5,000, then you cannot change it into public group anymore. So that if you want to add people in Facebook group and it's a private group, then you need to be friends with that people. And also the second note is if you use WhatsApp to be the community, it has many users. It's a widely used platform, but then it has a limitation on the member in the group. Telegram can be replaced option if you want to have more people in one Telegram group. Next one is you can promote directly on social media, or you can promote in other platforms like email, event, website, so that you can put the link that, or if you want to learn more about leadership, if you want more to share more about know more about the product, then you can join this community. So and the last option is for Facebook group. You can actually import the data and you can check the guideline here. But then before you doing this, you need to strictly follow GDPR, because you should never ask for a random contact and then ask them here, because they're gonna come and they're gonna report the bad thing about us. You can only add them if, like for example, after a you speak event, you ask them like, do you want to join the community that so that you can learn more about leadership and you can looking for more agent opportunity. And if they say yes, and if they tick yes and they agree to share, then we can add them. Also, what is the role of MC and LC in here? So for MC role, we need to have a community manager in the MC team, in the MC national marketing team, so that these people can handle and have the strategy for external community in social media, and also have the strategy for internal community inside the LC group. The role of these people is mainly align the direction and coordinate between the sales and marketing team, so that you can consolidate the information. And then from this kind of thing, these people gonna provide the direction for LC, ensure the brand alignment, ensure the national direction, attraction or content or campaigns with the LC. And from here, LC gonna be the main people that implement this kind of community, because we need to allow them to learn and also allow them to practice doing a real content production. So in here, LC need to align with the community manager to know about the direction and also the campaigns. And from here, they coordinate the local marketing and sales team to consolidate the information and to boss in here. And from here, they're gonna start generate the content, generate the doing the production or hosting the virtual webinar. Okay, so about the engagement funnel and content data so that we can learn to increase high engagement contact and understand behavior through data. You need to understand that every group member actually have very level of engagement understanding about and if you understand about the funnel, it can help you build a relationship and convert them. So for the first level is the casual audience. They are at the top of the funnel. So these people, they may engage with the new content occasionally, and they join after they see a post sharing from a friend or a pay or by other ways. So this is the first audience of the people, and then after the second layer is usually the people that they join after they know about us and they intentionally join it. Like for example, the fan and the follower on the social media, they see the link to join the official, they see the link to join the group on the official page, or some people that they subscribe to hear more about Isaac in email marketing or newsletter, or also referral. And maybe some people they join you speak forum or work like it legend, everything about engage with Isaac activity, and then they join so that they can learn more about leadership. The next one is the new or trial audience. So this audience we may not see a lot in Isaac context because in this case these are the people that they subscribe pay a bit of the fee for subscription or membership so that they can have a trial time to know about the product, and then they join to see whether they should purchase for the product or not. But then in Isaac we don't have a lot of this kind of people. Maybe in some context you can see them, but then not gonna be a lot. And then the last one is the loyal audience. They are the people that determine that the content is worth for their time and the resource. So they decide to sign up to go on the chain with Isaac, and they in request about it. And also they engage with group member in the community a lot. So the role of our brand, our Isaac, is you need to turn the casual reader, the random engager, and all the all audience into the high engaged and the loyal one. So at this point, the audience gonna start to make decision to buy the product. And how you can move them is you can move by attractive topic and valuable content. So from here, there are 4 MOS that you can actually measure, either brand MOS, marketing, 2 MOS for marketing and 1 MOS for sale. So for marketing MOS, how we can know this the brand goal we achieve is first, for marketing, we need to understand about the community side, whether your community is continuously increasing size and are the audience are from the key target. And second is about the engagement. Are your topic or content attractive and receive high engagement from audience or not? The next one is about brand loyalty. At the end of the day, whether this community helps you to increase customer loyalty in the whole big brand strategy. And the last one is sales and web, product and customer support, whether the community have to increase efficiency in product operation and customer support or not. So these are some suggested KPI for marketing. First one is community side. You can measure the current audience, the new audience every week, and you also can measure the growth of new audience every week or monthly so that you can know whether your attraction is working for this community or not. And then very important, you need to know the percentage of audience distribution by source of lead. So for example, you can divide by market or you can divide by channel. So from this you can push in the channel, and you can boost the key to have more key market audience inside here. And also don't forget to measure the lead community ratio so that you can see if the content is still relevant for these people or not. Next is the about engagement. It's gonna be about the rank post content per week and user generate content post per week. Why this is important is because after you the suggestion from my side, you can post like if you have 10 content, then you need to the final goal is you need to see how you can have 6 content in from the community member, and then 4 content for it is from the brand, which is from Isaac. So which means we need to encourage more audience to share the content. If you see that in a community, in your community, uh, you talk about your brand, but then at the same time, 9 content is just about your brand, and then you don't see anyone that interact or anyone that generate the content or working with you in this kind of thing. Then you need to review whether your community engagement is, have a good engagement or not. And also um, from here you can measure the topic and post engagement and measure the audience distribute by engagement level. For the sales MOS, you can measure on the service rating in the platform and also the positive and negative feedback. It's not a strict KPI that you need to measure, but then you need to always review with the sales member to see whether it's working or not. And then for the brand, I'm not gonna give KPI for brand here because it's gonna depend on your brand strategy. Okay, so what can be the content and data that we can have here? So if you want to understand about which level of engagement are they, you can measure it from beginning. For example, you can set the private for your community, and then or you can set public, and then if anyone want to join, they need to have some question. My suggestion is you can ask them these 3 key questions only. Don't ask them a lot because they're gonna be very tired and they're not gonna join anymore. So first one is what do you expect from this group, so that when you ask about the expectation, you can know that why they join this group. For example, if they come here from agent opportunity, or so maybe it can coming from the social channel, or if they are coming from the uh, how say you speak forum, and they come here to learn more about leadership, then maybe you can know about like what kind of intention or what is the expected thing that they expect to hear, or they just come here to know what is Isaac, for example. And from here you can ask them how did they know about the group. So in here you can put the different source of how did they know about the group. Is it coming from the national page, or is it coming from the event, or for example, so that you can boost more focus on which channel that generate more lead into the community. And also, how did you ever engage with Isaac before, which activity? So maybe it can help you to understand whether they know about us before or not. If they haven't know about us before, then you need to have some content to introduce about ourselves and make them understand about it. So, but it very depend on your platform. So depend on your platform, you can have different way to set the question. But this is the logic that how you can measure the engagement level. The next one is you always need to keep in mind that high engagement is very important here. So that we need to participate in a conversation with the audience. In here, you can choose the topic and the content that your audience is thinking about the most from the request question before, and then from here you can start to create an interactive conversation about that. So you can check if it's work by the data. So first, is it have high in react, comment, engage, and tag the friend. Second, whether the audience and our brand as Isaac can share the opinion openly and naturally in a conversation about some certain topic. And most importantly, whether you have user generate content or not. So whether your audience start to generate similar conversation to also discuss about this or not. And also be remember that the success of a brand in only show when people start talking about us more, so that our product they're gonna talk about our product, their experience, and their sharing may not be the very well designed post like us, but then it's gonna be the very real sharing. Also the high engagement in the conversation, you can have a stronger community and have more people to join, and you have more loyal audience. And if you have more loyal audience, you can improve more in the funnel. So here are some suggestion content and the format that I suggest you to can think about, but then you can always have your own way. First is a micro influencer in the local market. So for example, you can generate a video about a micro influencer in your market that talk about insightful topic. For example, you can talk about rumor has it IT student doesn't need leadership. Is it true? And then you can start to talk about this common assumption in the community in this university specifically. The next one is you can talk about real and raw leadership is moment. For example, that you can basically ask the audience and encourage them to share about their real experience. You don't need a very good design. You just need it to be super raw, but then the story have to be very very connect to leadership. You as a brand team, you can ask ISP to share first by personal account, and also if as a brand you can share by official account of the brand, but then I highly recommend it not. You can use share by your personal account more. Also, you can think about a webinar or a virtual event that can help you to talk about one hot topic. I would say, for example, solution-oriented. COVID-19 is an opportunity or a threat to economic students. So in this case, like for example, if I target to the 30 and 40 students, I can start this topic, and then from here I'm gonna allow people to comment. Let's comment below or something, or they can join the live stream and they can share the opinion about this, and we can get advice. They can get advice from external partner, for example, so that we also can talk about leadership, and then we're gonna start very significantly to what kind of student. The last one is maybe some hub content is when you can start to share a value for the customer, for the audience. For example, self awareness, 5 ways to understand about your capacity to work life balance. Oh, and also for all world citizens, thing to remember when internship abroad in Japan. So this kind of learning and tip can be very valuable for them because they are getting more value from brand. But then please remember that every topic that I suggest you here is always connect to leadership, because and it's gonna connect to some of the product we are providing, because you can talk about any content and you can have a lot of way to generate more content in the community. But then please be remember that at the end of the day, people are here to learn about leadership and to know about the product. So if you're talking about something that's not relevant with leadership, then we are losing the brand loyalty and brand awareness about leadership. So this is just my brief opinion about the community. Final message is the final goal of high engagement community is for a marketing and sales funnel conversion and brand loyalty. You can start working on your community right now, and then if you have any question, you can always approach me and to ask about it. And especially I'm gonna write advertise my support for the entity that register for the marketing initiative. So all the best and thank you.